Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl T from Adventures of Spirits, and here we are on Wednesday with Spirit Scrutiny. And today we are continuing some whiskey reviews, well, bourbon reviews that I received. And it's not just bourbon. I also got some vodka coming up and some gin coming up from some of my colleagues who were within the bourbon industry. And they received some samples and they shared it with me. So I'm very grateful for that. So today we will be featuring three samples compared to our previous 2 Wednesdays. And tonight, and I'm going to start from left to right because I'm trying to go from low proof to high proof because today we got some real high proof going on. Okay, so our low proof, our first one is called Penderyn Welsh Single Malt Whiskey, which is an actual Scotch, and it is 92 proof. And according to the instructions here, the notes here, let me see, Penderyn. Okay, so Penderyn Scotch is a single malt, is aged in bourbon and Madeira wine cast, lots of fruit notes. So curious to see what that tastes like. Okay, our second one is a Red Line Elements straight bourbon. This is an Amburana finish. Don't know what Amburana is, but according to that, we're looking at it's very bold in flavors. It says it's mainly cinnamon and baking spices. So chances are we're going to smell some of the sweet stuff. First sip may be overpowering, they say, but will mellow out after. Okay. Should be your last taste because it may taint your palate for anything after. Okay, so if that's the case, we are going to move number 2 to number 3. Okay, so we're going to move this around since it says it may taint my palate for anything after. We want to make it number 3, right? We don't want to make it number 2. Okay. And so if that's the case, our third palette will be Red Line Element Straight Bourbon, Amberin finish again. Okay, so that leaves us with, where are we? Red Line. Okay, no, Red Line is third. I'm sorry. I need to tell you what number 2 is because we switched it over. So Wild Turkey Rare Breed. So I'm familiar with Wild Turkey, but I just haven't had the Wild Breed version of it. Okay, and it's 100 and am I reading this right? 116.8 proof. Okay, so even though this one tells you that it's going to taint your palate, this one tells you this is going to be more fire than the next one. That part. Okay, so I'm going to go with the palate versus how warm it is. I can deal with that. I'm just going to have to get more water. So if y'all give me a minute, I'm just going to go get some more water. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, I'm back, y'all. Not too long. I just had to get some more water because I can clear out my palate, but I can't clear out the warmth. Okay. So I'm trying to think, should I move it over? But it did say it was going to taint my palate. So basically, even though it's going to be more warm, the second one is going to be much more warm than the second one, than this one. I'd rather just leave it as third one because I don't want to mess up the palate and then tell you all something wrong. And then you all go out and buy it. And then you say, oh, well, Tanya said, I'm sorry. Okay. So let's go on ahead and go on and taste these. Okay. So this first one is the Penderyn Welsh Straight Malt Whiskey, which is a Scotch. Single malt from Scotland. Asian bourbon and Madeira wine cask, lots of fruit notes, it says. So let's see just how much fruit notes it says it has. Okay. So let's first look at the actual body of this actual single malt. I'm not seeing many legs. So either it's extremely thick or it's watery. And my guess is probably more of a watered down version. So let's go ahead and look at the color. This is more of a yellow color, not a yellow golden color, but yellow. It's true yellow. It's a true yellow color. All right, so let's go with the nose. Ooh, it smells good. So it's funny because even though it's aged in wine cask in addition to bourbon, it sort of reminds me almost of the Elvis one, the one that was very sweet with banana, because it gives me your usual some bourbon flavor. So you're going to get a little oak, not much oak. This one definitely gives you banana. And I'm pretty sure if I research the Madeira wine cask, I'm pretty sure we're going to get probably some of those notes that I'm telling you right now. But I haven't done the research because I'm just trying it along with you. And it gives you your caramel, it gives you your nuts, it gives you it's very sweet. Brown sugar, not necessarily caramel, but this one is more brown sugar. It smells good. So let's go ahead and taste it. So, as most scotches, you're going to have that peaty. It's very peaty. Okay. And peaty is basically based on the grain that scotch is made of. Okay. I'll give you more details about that when you gotta look at my other video about the scotches versus the bourbons and the whiskeys. Of course, all whiskeys, all bourbons and all scotches are whiskeys, but not all whiskeys are bourbon and scotches, just so you know that. It's not as warm as what you would think it would be. It's very easy drinking. It's very smooth. It has a lot of fruit. It's very fruit forward. Now it doesn't say it's fruit forward. It actually says that it's Asian bourbon and Madeira wine cask, and maybe the Madeira wine is what's giving it these other flavors. So you're gonna get a lot of sweet notes out of it. Your banana, your caramel, your vanilla, I will literally have to sit here and talk to you about the different wine tastes, but the wine, the actual sweetnesses that I'm tasting in it is 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 drinkable friendly, if that makes any sense to you. I know that's not a term, but for those of you who like to sip on things that's not too strong but has a flavor to it, and let's just say you don't really like scotch because you don't like that smoke peaty flavor that it gives you, this is a perfect alternative. This is a perfect alternative to you non scotch drinkers. Okay. Um, Definitely something you may want to taste and see if it's something you want to put on your bar. Okay. So let's go into the second one. So this second one, oh, and just so you know, the finish on that is very short. Very short. I don't taste the palate too long after I've tasted it. Okay, just so you know, it's not something that lingers on. It's very, very short. Okay, so this second one is Wild Turkey Rare Breed, which tells me that I'm probably gonna like this because I do like wild turkey. I do like wild turkey. This one says rare breed. I have not tasted this. And I know some of you out in the bourbon community be like, what do you mean you never tasted it? Well, I haven't tasted it, doggone it. But anyway, um, this one here, Wild Turkey Rare Breed, it says it's a classic wild turkey with bolder flavors. Drinks is a little hot at first, which means it's going to give a little heat. So I'm already braced for it, but let's go ahead and go through our normal regimen. Okay. So this is a dark amber color. So this is a true amber color, not yellow. This is a dark amber color. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the body of it. So the body of this one is either watery or very heavy. I don't see legs. So give me a 1 minute. Let me see if I see the legs. Okay, there are legs, but the legs have run very fast, which means it's not as heavy. So this is light body. Okay. So we got the color, we got the texture in the glass. So let's go ahead and get with the nose. Okay, this is giving me your usual bourbon nose. Nothing different about it. There's nothing different about it. There's no special sweet notes. There's no herbal notes. There's nothing out of the ordinary. So let's go ahead and taste this. Woo! They ain't lying. It's a lot of hot. Woo! Feel like Ric Flair. Woo! That's what I feel like right now. Woo! Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. They ain't lying. It said drinks a little hot at first. Yeah, it's hot. But the problem is this. It's hot, but you can't get past the flavor until the heat ceases. And since it's a short finish, you can't get a chance to taste it. So what I normally do when that occurs, I add a little water to it to decrease the heat so I can at least get the flavor of the actual drink. So I'm gonna put a little water in it. All right. I'm gonna swirl it around and I'm going to give it a drink. And I'll let you know what it tastes like because the first one I can tell you, because it's a short finish and because it's a lot of heat, I can't tell you what it tastes like. Okay. Add a little water. Heat is gone. Still a short finish, which is a problem because it doesn't give me an opportunity to tell you what I taste. Um, it's not really, it's not giving me, it's not allowing me to taste it. And I know I can taste it again and go, okay, this is what I taste. But that just defeats the purpose, right? It defeats the purpose. If you're going to taste something, you want to be able to sip it and savor it when you're sipping it. Because usually these drinks that I'm reviewing right now, the bourbons and the whiskeys, a lot of times you want to drink them straight. You usually want to drink them neat. And these is for the neat drinkers. Now, if you're going to mix them, do what you want to do. Then it doesn't make a difference. Anything that, excuse me, what I'm saying right now is not going to make a difference. It's like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to put Coca-Cola in it anyway. Or I'm going to put ginger ale in it. Or I'm going to put sweet tea in it. Or I'm going to put lemonade in it, whatever the case is. But if you're going to drink them neat, I can tell you that this Wild Turkey Rare Breed, 116.8 proof. If you're drinking it for flavor, like to really resonate with your palate, I would say that's not something I'm going to put on my bar because it's either you got to fight the heat or get the flavor and you got to taste the flavor real quick. Now if you're not the type of person that wants to feel at least a little heat with a little flavor or whatever, then this definitely isn't the drink for you. So just want to make that known. So let's go ahead and get into the third one. So the third one is Red Line Element Straight Bourbon. It's the amber finish. And this one says it's very bold flavors, mainly cinnamon and baking spices. First sip may be overpowering, but will mellow out after. Should be your last taste because it may taint your palate for anything after. Okay, so we're going to taste that. Okay, we're going to see what that tastes like. So right now we're tasting the Red Line Straight. Never heard of Red Line. Never heard of Red Line. I'm visualizing a bottle. Like usually when I look at the name, I'm visualizing what the bottle would look like. And Red Line sounds like it would be a white label with a red stripe around it. I'm just telling you what I'm thinking. But anyway, let's look at the actual body of this. So I'm not seeing legs. So this means to me it's either extremely heavy, no, because there's no legs at all. It's very light body. Okay. So it may not be too bad. The color of it is a golden amber color, which is a little darker than yellow, but not as brown as that other one, the Elvis one that I did. So it's not too brown. It's between yellow and brown. It's a true gold, a very true golden amber color. So let's go with the actual nose. Okay, so the nose of this is an actual bourbon, right? But I also smell a sweet smell. It could be banana, but that just may be just because I've been smelling banana for this evening. But it is banana. It's banana. It smells so good. I just want to let you all know that this Red Line Straight actually smells very good. It will actually fool you into thinking that it's probably extremely sweet, but I'm gonna taste it and let you know if it's even worth it. But it actually smells very good. It gives you all anything that's sweet you could think about, it gives you. So it gives you your banana, it gives you your almond, not walnut. What's that other sweet nut? Um, it's funny, but I smell cherry. I smell cherry in this actual note. In terms, I smell macadamia nuts. It's funny because one nose gives me one thing and the other gives me the other. Just saying. Um, but it's very sweet. But we're gonna get into tasting this to see if it's even worth it because it could smell like anything, but if the taste isn't anything, it doesn't make any sense to buy it. So give me 1 minute. Okay, there's a lot of heat. Just want to let you know that. There's heat in the palate and you swallowing it, but after you swallow it, you don't feel the heat in your palate. It just goes straight down your chest. So my chest is warm right now. Um, I taste everything, but not all the sweet stuff. I taste the oak, I taste the caramel, I taste the vanilla. I do taste a little banana, like whatever is sweet. I don't know whether it's the banana that's sweet, whether it's the macadamia nuts or whatever, but I'm sorry, my palate vocabulary is very limited. Okay, just want to let you know that. But it's a rather short finish, which means I gotta taste it again. Banana. That's definitely. I don't know what it is with the banana with this stuff. I am very curious to know what Amburana finish is. Something tells me that the Amburana finish, I guarantee you it has banana or something sweet that's in there that actually resonates with this. I guarantee you. But I'm going to do my research on it just to find out. But just so you know, as of right now, the Penderyn Welsh, that Scotch is Scotch. Okay, just so you all know. It is a Scotch, which means it's made in Scotland, which means it's not whiskey. It's called Scotch. I won't say it's not whiskey. It's not bourbon. It's Scotch. All Scotch and bourbon is whiskey, but all whiskey is not Scotch or bourbon. Just so you know, Scotch is made in Scotland. Bourbon is made in Kentucky and is made after 2 years in charcoal barrels. So if it's not that, it's considered a whiskey. But for some reason, in this review, I will say that this Penderyn Welsh is good for those who are trying to enter into the Scotch community. Um, just like I do with the wines. There's certain wines that you drink when you're trying to venture from whites to reds, right? This to me is a perfect transition from just a whiskey to scotch because it does have a very different flavor. And you do have to develop some sort of palate for the scotches in order for you to drink scotch. Okay. So that peaty flavor I would equate it to the tannins flavor in a wine, which is why most people don't like reds because they taste the tannins. because it's like a dry flavor. But you have to taste it in a minimal way in order for you to develop that taste to want it. So then you can, so that way you can evolve in your taste, evolve in your palate for the taste of other red wines. Same thing with the scotches. So I would say that this Penderyn Welsh Scotch is a perfect transition whiskey when you're trying to get into the whiskey type community. Okay. In terms of the Wild Turkey Rare Breed, I don't know if I put it on my bar. It's just not worth it to me. But this Red Line Element Straight is something about the Amburana finish that it has that it puts me in the mind of for someone who is trying to venture into the whiskey community but needs some type of extra flavor, if that makes sense. So I would include this in that. Okay. So that is my review of these 3 samples that I have out of the 13. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something from it. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and share if you did, so others may enjoy what you enjoyed as well. In addition to subscribing if you have not. So with that being said, thank you so much for my my members, and thank you all for being committed to my channel. And I will see you next Wednesday. Next Wednesday we will be reviewing some gin. So it won't be whiskey or bourbon. It will be gin. So just hope to see you then, and hope to see you, because let me tell you, I just want to say this. I'm sorry. Before I log off. I'm not a gin fan. Gin has a particular flavor to me that I'm not particularly a fan of. But what I have found is that some gins actually have different flavors. Sometimes it's not always about the juniper taste, which is the taste that I really like too much. But it actually allows you to try different gins that have different infused flavors. There are some flavors that they're infused with other type of flavors that helps you to expand your palate in the gin realm. So just so you know, I got gin coming up and I have vodka coming up. So next week it will be gin. Please join me then, because I will definitely not have tasted those gins, just to share that experience with you all. So and then the week after that it will be vodka. So my husband is a vodka drinker. I'm not a vodka drinker. I'm a brown liquor drinker, but I am opening up my palate to other things. So hopefully you'll enjoy me then. So thank you very much. And thank you for all of my actual channel members that have joined me. And I am out to make sure that I recognize you. So thank you very much. And you all have a good evening.
Let's have a toast to that. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the they done baptized the bad guy. Still don't follow religion. The fabric's not average. The cotton's Egyptian. 500 for the shoes come dirty, but the European. Less is more and less is the bank. Up the score, I pull up and trade. From the tray, I'm ballin' like Trey. Do what I can, I do what you can't. I wrote this 30,000 feet up. 10 toes stay G'd up. I'm tryna get that type of wealth like a house on it.